Welcome back to another episode of Out of Bounds on the Boomer Bus channel. I'm your host, Terry, and today I want to talk about the situation happening right now with Damar Hamlin, and not so much about him, but about the reaction to it. And so, if you aren't aware, a quick recap is an NFL player was struck last night during a play. And fainted on the field, and they had administered CPR, then took to the hospital, and right now he's in critical condition. So there's a number of medical people that are speculating, people like me that have been around the sports for a while and seen a lot of injuries, speculating, but we don't really know. And so I was just more interested at the reaction that people were having and how they were doing it. So we talk about, we as in some of the circles I'm in, we talk about these things a lot. One of the things I'm interested in is just, again, society, social construction, how we make up norms and how we make up what's right and wrong, and how all those things, how we build those up in society without even knowing it. And so when I see, people doing the same thing, it kind of gets my curiosity. Now, I was watching the game, and so I was there in real time. But once you follow social media and you see everything, you're trying to get updates, you start to see some patterns. And it's just interesting to me, and honestly a little disheartening, that so many people decide to take this time to just boost up either their platform or boost up themselves. And I'm going to fully admit right now, if anybody is like, you're doing the same thing, that's a valid criticism. But again, I'm not really talking about Hamlin himself. I'm more talking about the larger situation that goes into it. But and this is for discussion. This isn't for any promotion or anything. And so once I get into what I'm talking about, you'll understand. But if someone has that thought right now about me, that's a valid criticism. And so this is no different, and that's why I don't feel bad talking about it. It is an example, it's a microcosm, but it's no different than what we see a lot of times. And so one thing that became popular in the last handful of years is give people their roses while they're still here. And I used to say, not too much before that became popular, I would say give people their flowers, same concept. And it's a concept that became popular, and some people still say it now and then, but people aren't really living it. People don't live that. They don't live that concept. They do not really think about, I wouldn't say they don't care, but they don't think about people that are close to them, let alone celebrities and other stuff, until something tragic happens, unfortunately. And so that was the case last night. And it always disturbs me. And to be honest, I think I mentioned before, I've been on Twitter more now lately. Of course, ironically, I get on Twitter when it's quote unquote at the end, but now that I just see so much more, and it's not like I'm surprised that this stuff happens, but the mass in which it happens. And so, number one, you have people that are grandstanding, that are trying to get moral high ground. And that's weird to me because, to be very honest, if everybody's being honest, no one knew what was going on, including the people on the field. And so we didn't know how serious this was. Now, when you're an hour out and nothing has happened, then of course it's easy to say cancel the game. How could they think about playing? We shouldn't be talking about football right now. But in the moment where it's only like 5-8 minutes old, people didn't know. We didn't know if he was going to get up and put the thumbs up. We didn't know if, we had no clue he was getting CPR. And so anybody that was reacting in that moment, we all felt the same way. We thought this might be a little more routine, and seeing the reaction of the teammates made us feel like, okay, this might be more serious. And then, of course, by the time it gets elongated, we realize how serious it is. But before that, some people were reacting and in real time, and I think they were reacting appropriately. They were questioning what's going to happen with the game. Like, is he like severely hurt? What's going, different questions that I think are normal. And then we have people online attacking those people. How dare you? And not in real time. They attack them later. Once the society, as whatever group it is, decides, okay, this is the right side of things. This is where the moral high ground is. And obviously no one knows that right away. But as you sit here this morning, now everybody knows it. The NFL said, we never thought about playing the game. You have other people, oh, we would have never even thought about playing the game after that. And it's like, no, you didn't. In real life, the announcers, the ESPN, the NFL, like, they're trying to say it was a miscommunication. We didn't know what was going on, which is possible, but somebody thought they were going to continue to play. And that's why they got instructions to start warming up. So, but my point is that people are now, an hour after the incident, people are trying to be on the moral high ground. They're trying to hold anybody accountable. How dare you talk about that? How dare you bring that up? This is about this young man and all that. And so we got that going on, and that happens all the time, which I think is a little different just because this was a live event. This wasn't like some news we heard about. And so we got that going on. Then you have the people who are trying to show how virtuous they are. And this is the one that bothers me, because a lot of people are saying, hey, don't show the play. Don't show the play. And honestly, I personally don't see what that does or what that means. Just because you didn't show the play doesn't change the fact that it's happening. I mean, if people watch the play, watch the play. If they share it, they share it. If they say something crazy along with it, even if they didn't share the play, then they said something crazy. But not sharing the play, whatever. So then some people were like, share this picture of like the team praying together. Okay, cool. And then other people start sharing these videos of him with his family before the game. And I'm just like, that feels to me a little weird. And then later on, you find out that that video wasn't even from that night. We don't know what game that was from. So you went either digging or you saw somebody post that video. Now it's circulating. Everybody share this instead. And I'm like, how does that make it any better? I don't think it changes the situation. And frankly, for me personally, obviously everyone's different. For me personally, it makes me feel even more gross and weird. The fact that you showing this person with his family, now my immediate thought is about him struggling to, fight for his life, but then also his family having to be there to witness that. And so that was a little weird to me. And then you got the barrage of stuff. Now people are showing old video clips from interviews. People are showing him with his charity. People are showing him in his college days. People talking about, oh, I played with him at Pitt and that was my guy. And so now people are racing to put out all this stuff, and literally you see some people who you can kind of tell don't even watch football, but you see some people online talking about people need to know how great of a man he is, and y'all need to understand what type of character you don't even know him. You didn't even know who he was before tonight, clearly. And then the charity thing, people bragging, oh, I gave this much, or look how much we gave to his charity. He's got over $3 million now. They didn't even reach their goal of $2,500 before that night. So clearly you did not care 1 ounce about him or his charity prior to him. Now that he's hurt and in critical condition, now you care about his charity. So and the thing I understand is people grieve in different ways. Some people feel like they got to do things to kind of fix things. Some people kind of, retreat into themselves. Some people want to be with others. People do it, grieve in different ways. But to me, you got these amount of people attacking other people and trying to show off how much they care, and attacking people, trying to like, why are you thinking about this? Why are you doing this right now when someone's fighting for their life? And it's like, you're also sitting on Twitter too, tweeting. And the other thing is, the truth is, there are people fighting for life every single day. And that's the truth of it. And I'm not downplaying him. Obviously, to me, as much as you can say is, your thoughts are with them, prayers if you believe in that type of stuff. And really else, what can you do? You can't affect the situation. And so to sit here and try to attack people and say someone's fighting for their life. Someone's fighting for their life every day. Someone's mother, someone's grandmother, someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's father, like pregnant women. There are people fighting for their life every single day. And that's the thing that always weirds me out, especially like celebrity deaths. I kind of understand a little more because they're just, more familiar. But even the way some people go crazy about that, it's just interesting to me because there's so many people dying and people don't seem to care. And I hate to say it, but like, it's kind of like what the Joker said in The Dark Knight. You literally said that's a part of the plan. That's what we accept as society. So we just keep going. If these people die, but if these people die, oh, it's a big deal. And I'm not saying you shouldn't care. I'm saying the opposite, really, is that we only, care selectively. And that's reinforced by the fact that you had Jeremy Renner, another celebrity, literally in critical condition as well. And immediately after the news came out, people started making jokes. The internet was full of people making memes and jokes. I saw some people making jokes last night. Like, he's stable but in critical condition, and when the news first dropped, he was in critical condition. And so and people immediately start making jokes because we didn't see Jeremy Renner get injured, so it's not that real to us. Now, this player who the vast majority of people do not know, even football fans, we saw it happen. We saw people's reaction. Oh, now I gotta act like, or I gotta show that I'm a human. And so I don't get it. Like, again, you had a little bit of the internet moving and shaking when Jeremy Renner gets hurt, and not most, but a lot of people being terrible. And then this happens with a player people don't really know, but since it's live TV and everybody's talking about it, now everybody's got to jump in. People that don't watch football, was not watching the game, all these different things, attacking people, trying to show like, oh, look at what he said about this thing in this one interview. Like, bro, you probably just got that from somebody. So the reaction is sad. And then you got the really ugly part of it. You got people over here using this to talk about the vaccine, which is just so wrong for so many reasons. Like, so many reasons. Like, to sit here and say, if somebody asks, well, what are they going to do with this game? To me, I'm not offended by that. We have no precedence of this happening. We don't. It's week 17 and we're going into the last week. The logistics of it is a real question. No one, just because you ask don't mean you saying it's the most important question, but it is a question and it is tied to what happened. Bringing in the vaccine has nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. Regardless of your thoughts on the vaccine, bringing that into this is absolutely ridiculous. If the man was sitting on the bench and stood up, put his helmet on, ran on the field, and then passed out, okay, that could be maybe a different conversation. It would still be inappropriate, but maybe a different conversation. But the fact is, this happened after a collision. Come on, there's nothing to talk about here. And so for people to really use this to talk about that platform, it is very ugly because you're reaching for straws. And to be frank, politicians do it all the time. Politicians do it all the time. And that stuff is ugly. So just thinking about, again, how we react, and not necessarily saying it's wrong or right, because that's what you have to figure out for yourself. The whole idea of social construction is for you to realize that we build up these norms and values without even realizing it, based off how everybody else reacts. And social media just amplified it. And so you have to really tease apart that, yeah, this might be okay, or this is what people expect you to do or look or feel or say in this moment. But you have to tease apart what's right for you and what makes sense for you. Because a lot of the stuff last night on both sides, or three sides, it was more than two, a lot of it to me was inappropriate, because I don't understand what you're adding to anything. To me, it seems more like you're, again, just grandstanding, but that's just my personal view of it. So again, I'm not saying right or wrong necessarily, except the vaccine stuff. That I think that's completely wrong. But just to see the way people react and try to police each other and go at each other, especially when we're talking about these situations of life and death with people you don't know, and how we react to that. And we don't really react to the people we know around us sometimes, not all of us, but just in general as a community. It's just kind of like, someone died, oh, okay, that sucks. But I don't know, this dates back to the Ray Rice thing for me. I never understood that to this day. They gave you verbatim what happened on that video, and for like a week or whatever, people did not care. Like, I wouldn't say they didn't care. They didn't care enough to be outraged. It was just like, oh, okay, he knocked his wife out in the elevator. But then the video comes out, and all of a sudden everybody is enraged, and now they're upset. And it's just, it never makes sense to me. It never makes sense. I get it's more visceral, but still, you gotta, I don't know, I think you gotta do deeper cognition in those settings, because how can we sit here and on one hand make fun of somebody in critical condition, and then on the other try to police people and how they react to another person in critical condition just because we saw it happen live? And to be honest with you, what happened to Jeremy Renner was way more gruesome if you read the news. And so it's interesting how our society in America treats things. And that's the only discussion that I really wanted to have. So that's it for me. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And thank you for going out of bounds.